go. Tony D here with a mega micro review. Have a nice little indie pile. The intent, give you a little rundown, some deets on the artwork. Try to keep it under 2 minutes an issue. Maybe you're on the fence about something or undecided. Maybe this will help you out and give you a little help. Or just enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Let's start off with G.I. Joe 320. This one's action-packed. Larry Hama, he brings the action. So if you're in the high action, this brings it in spades. The Joes infiltrated Springfield with a group, Snake Eyes and his buds, and it went south. I mean, they got what they needed, but now they have to escape. And what's cool about the action is there's other things going on as well. And I mean, it is high paced. Artwork totally matches the tone. It's good. So you have multiple things going on, like right here. They were doing recon and now they got to get out of there. They're all like on, it's escape time. And I mean, they're launching air support. It's everything you can think of is going down in this issue. This is definitely, oh man, if you're a Joe fan, you got to get this one. I think this is the most action-packed issue that I ran into on a Real American Hero version. But, the previous issues, they're action-packed too. Like, Larry Hama brings it. I'm glad he's doing the writing duties on this. Yeah, I mean, you can just tell there's not a whole lot of story development because it doesn't need it. It's just what it is. G.I. Joe, high octane action. Good artwork. So, I mean, the whole thing is like, get the heck out of Springfield. Yeah, even the Cobra guys are like, they know what's going on, what they need to do, and they're trying to shut down the only means of escape. Like these two groups that I just showed you that are trying to escape, one is going for a boat and the other group is going to the airfield. So you have, I mean, that's cool. You got the air, you got the water as escape routes. And they even kind of go into details sometimes. Like it's a small detail, but it's actually cool. Like they're, let's take Amore because it's closely is like our stuff. Like it's just little details like that really add to the story, I think. Yeah, and then to even add to the tension, nobody knows how to fly a helicopter, and that's what they're getting away in. She's done some simulator work. It's actually kind of funny too, to break things up a little bit. But it's like, yeah, I've been in the simulator like 100 hours, but it's like you got to do what you got to do, and that's what the Joes do. It's on display. There's nothing deep. There's nothing poetic. There's nothing like earth shattering as far as writing goes. It just, like I said, it is what it is, man. And it's perfect for this type of book. I'm enjoying it. And I wasn't a G.I. Joe kid, really. Of course, the cartoon, I'm sitting there watching it. And you don't have to be cut from that cloth as a kid. Like you don't have to watch the cartoon to get into this or have knowledge of it. It's just a high action military book with a lot of fantasy. So I can't really say much more about it. It's just a fun ride. So if you're into stuff like that, you'll enjoy that for sure. And then we just go straight to King Spawn. Love my Spawn books. Great cover, by the way. So King Spawn. There's a few different things going on. And with this review, this is kind of like a one-shot, it felt like, where we have this character here runs into, that's bad news. And what that is, it is a demon that possesses this guy, this character, name's Dylan. And Spawn, he has the ability to enter the mindscape. So he does that because this demon is body jumping and committing atrocious acts. with these bodies that she, I don't, it's not really she, it's a demon. It's an it. So Spawn is, he's describing, hey man, I need you to focus. We need to find this in your mindscape where I can put an end to this to save lives. And it's a decent little one shot. I'm calling it a one shot because that's what it really feels like. I mean, there's no setup for continued narration, but yeah, the demon is doing that. But they find, okay, Belgaz. He's calling him his presence is warping your memory. So it's Belgos. I'm gonna call it Belgos, and he's warping. Yeah, he's warping his mind. He knows what's going on, and we get to a point in the story where he sees what has been done while he was possessed. Yeah. So now he's like, hey, like, what's gonna happen to me when I get out of this? And this gets really grim, and it's pretty impactful too, especially for this character where he's like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm done. And he's like, you have to stop this. And he's like, I can't for you. And he's like, right when you're possessed, you're done, you're dead. And yeah, man, he has to take all that in, and you get a little script flip here where you have a character shows up and you're getting a little misdirection. Or are you? They do a good job of that, where this character is like, hey, Spawn is the one doing this to you. I'm here to hunt him, that type of thing. And as a reader of Spawn, you're not really tricked by it, but you're like, well, what's this guy gonna do with this information? And pretty much talks him into, I need you to take out Spawn. And Spawn just walks into it like, oh yeah, look at that, that's crazy, that's pretty brutal, look at all the eyes. So yeah, this really feels like he don't fall for it, and he helps him, complete his trip. So it's cool. He got his dog, and he just goes his way. So it's just like a little one shot. If you're totally, and I like how Spawn's kind of floating away. It's just one of those things. I think if you're a hardcore Spawn fan, it's something to get into. Even if you're not a fan, it might be a good intro point just to kind of see if you get a taste of it, see if you like it. But Spawn, for me, man, I was there at the very beginning. At first, I wasn't buying Spawn when it first came out. I was just like, I don't know about this. But I got on board, and it's totally enjoyable. Exquisite Corpses. When I saw this cover, I had to have it. That's why I bought it, just for the cover. I can give you the deets. It's a brilliant, it's a tournament. So you have the original 13 colonies get together and have this tournament once a year to see who has control of the United States for the year. And they isolate a town. Everything's paid off and coordinated where this happens, where there's actual citizens in that town. And each colony gets their own, I don't know what you would call it, mercenary, contestant. I mean, they're fighting each other, so it's a tournament. And you get a lot of talking, back and forth. Like, they're watching all of this. Tynion, the writer, he's fantastic. He does a great job of layering the story with, the different threads that are going on, with these people, they're horrible people. And you have, slowly, you're being introduced to the contestants. And this is one of them. Look at the color usage is great too. Turns red. So the contestants have to go and find their tools of their trade. So there's been a lot of that going on. And you get a lot of eerie stuff like that. All the contestants are over the top type assassins and things like that. Pretty fresh, unique stuff. This is another one of those, like the G.I. Joe. It is what it is, and it does it great. There's not a whole lot of deep thought type stuff, and sometimes that is refreshing, especially when I'm doing these little reviews and some of the longer reviews. Man, sometimes like you get sucked into these rabbit holes. You got to turn it off sometimes. You're thinking about it. You even go as the story progresses, you see the characters. There's some attachment you'll get as you go through this, which you should, where sometimes you'll get a false sense of security for some of them, and then pop. So this one contestant gets in the hospital, and I mean, it's just total chaos. Yeah. And then look where he's at. That's insane, man. Like that's the tension right there. It is ramped up. Yeah, these are the townsfolk. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, and this guy he is definitely sneaky. So he plays the victim, gets the upper hand. Yeah, it doesn't go well for that guy. So that's what I'm saying. He was pretty likable, and then, see ya. Yeah, and then it's like, didn't get him quite. A little bit of redemption there. So that's cool, man. These two characters. I'm not quite sure what the deal was with these two. I don't know if they're contestants. I need to check that out a little bit, and see what's up. But yeah, her sister is in the game, and she's being. I mean, yeah, they're messing with her. Like, once she sees that, I think she's new to this. It's like, oh goodness, my sister could be like that. But those two characters, and then you get, this is cool, the tournament bracket. There's already been some winners. Definitely not like a basketball tourney thing, but I am curious about these two characters. I think they are, I want to say that they are, I'll have to figure that out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're citizens, or I don't think they're contestants. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I like peruse that, because now I'm curious. That's what's cool, man. Comics always have puzzles to solve, and we're here to do it. Spawn, boom, can't beat Spawn, man. I love my Spawn books. Talked about earlier, did a little King Spawn. Epilogue. So, what is interesting about this one? They have defeated a horrific, evil entity, and they had to do it as a group. So they had to get everybody, every metahuman that they could, to do this. And it was on display for the world. So Spawn is having a meeting with them saying, hey, the world knows about you now. And this was interesting to me because we're issue 368, and we're just now getting to where the world is finding out about this ecoverse of heroes, villains, turn heroes, like just the whole, actually they even make the distinction, villain and hero. Now you're on blast. They know. So, which means it don't matter if you're good or bad, they're going to come for you. That's just the way the world works. I totally love these, like Trimmer, the characters that from when everything first started out. Cygor, totally love that character. McFarlane did a fantastic job developing, these fresh new characters. Originality. The Curse, that's an interesting character as well. Like McFarlane, like he's the man, dude. Like, so there's a little bit of conflict between them as this discussion, but it's really just a discussion of, yeah, you're on blast. And then we segue to, I totally forgot that dude's name. Huge antagonist, but things get even better from here. Yeah, like if you're a hardcore Spawn fan or just a mild fan, you need to get this and keep reading it, because I'm telling you, what's fixing to happen is going to rock your world. So we have this character right here. He is being captured for a very specific reason. In Spawn, he's kind of having it out with she Spawn, like, but that's not important. So they kind of have a moment, but this isn't what shake, rattles, and roll, man. It's this guy right here was, I'm probably going to say it wrong, Maljumboa, totally am, but he had a backup plan, and it was this guy. So he's like, how come you didn't initiate this backup plan, which would bring him back to life? And he's like, I didn't have the power. And he also helped pick the hell spawns. But then he gets into the whole, you know, when he's slain, like, he's the backup plan to bring him back. And he's just like, I didn't have the power to do it. And it was one piece they miscalculated. So the whole plan here is they're going to bring him back, man. Like, that's huge. So, huge reveal there. I think it's pretty awesome. It was what, issue 100 when he got beheaded by Spawn? Like, I even have the toy that has, like, the head separate. I should probably throw that up in a picture, but yeah, huge reveal. So if you're any type of Spawn, like I said, man, major, minor, in between, not sure, this is your jumping on point, because the boy is going to be back in town. Yeah, I do. I believe that was issue 100. That was huge. I think I bought a couple of those. But, boom, Sisterhood. Love my Hyde Street. This one's really good. I enjoy these one-off stories that they have. Devour was a good one, but for the review, we're into issue 3. And this, our main character here, Sophie, her friend was killed by her sorority in a hazing accident, and so she goes to Hyde Street, you know what I'm saying? And she goes into this, like, I don't know, man, like a witch's fortune teller looking shop. And you know what happens on Hyde Street? She strikes a deal, and this is where we're at, where she can communicate with her dead friend who wants revenge. And the twist is, it's really not her friend. I don't think it's her friend at all. I think it's an evil spirit. It starts possessing her, you know, as we go along. It wants revenge on all of them, and it's starting to, it even reveals, like, the second issue, it's like it temporarily took her over and pushed this chick over a balcony. And so this entity is figuring out, and maybe it really is her friend. I think it is, but it's just Hyde Street put the whammy on it. And Sophia just wants out now. Like, it's too deep. It's too much. But this entity is just being cunning and clever and playing on her emotions. It's a really good story. So we got more hazing going on here, and she thinks that they know what she did or knows what's going on, and it's just hazing. And one of the sisters, like, pretty much tells her, like, hey, just go along with it, you know, it's okay, you know. But she realizes how dangerous this is. So she tells her friend, like, hey man, I'm out. Not what I signed up for. But the entity, I keep calling her entity because, man, I really don't think it's her friend anymore. She is guilting her into, you know, like, we could save so many lives. And she's like, well, I don't want to end up like you. So they're driving back. This is where it gets really good. And they're talking about how cool her friend was. And, like, now that she's there, it's like her friend is there. So they're making this connection there like that, which, I mean, So you have this blackout right here, and it's like, and it's fantastic. Like, she comes to a little bit, you know, why would you do that? And she's like, what? And then blackout. So what's happening is she's being possessed, and this entity has figured out how to fully control her. Manipulation and control. It's on full blast, folks. That's funny how the reflections are like in the tire, but yeah, she jumps out. So now the entity is like, I mean, it's in full, like, hey, we don't have time, calm down. We got to cover this crap up. And you need to get your story straight. And she's like, our story? You did this. But it's like, man, you shouldn't have went to Hyde Street messing around. And then we get to a point where we really see the insidious nature of this entity. It's like, hey, they deserved it. And she just says, hey, you used me. Like, and this is when the entity, like, lets her know, like, I didn't know I could do this until, like, I pushed that one girl over the ledge. So it's learning what it can do possession-wise. It's like, it's asking her, hey, let me take over and I can get us out of this. And she's like, no. And she's like, well, I don't need your permission. And I mean, man, it ramps up to, she wakes up, you know, the blackout. Good panel work. I like this, like, claustrophobic type paneling, but it's, you know, it's went even further. So now she's in custody. And I mean, yeah, look at that. How do you get out of that? You're done. You're cooked. So it'll be interesting. There's your hook right there. Like, I want to know more. I want to keep going. But hope you enjoyed it, and outro.